All right, folks, look, we know that Donald Trump's brain is basically melting. It's malfunctioning. He is in severe cognitive decline. He is constantly rambling about nothing. He doesn't know where he is half the time. And this Fox News interview that he did tonight just furthered that point. Now, remember, this is Fox News. This is like an arm of the Trump operation. They're in lockstep with Donald Trump. And even the host, Laura Ingraham, was baffled at what he was saying. She was asking follow-ups because I think her and the viewers were all confused. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. So I'm going to show you just a couple of clips from this Fox News interview. You'll see what I mean. But before we do any of that, I do ask that you subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And without further ado, let's just start here where Donald Trump was asked about affordability, about the economy being terrible. Nobody can get a job. Things are still far too expensive, even though he promised to get the price of things down. And instead of answering the question, he just blamed the Democrats. And even, again, Laura Ingraham was stunned. Take a look.
The economy was listed as a top concern. I know you know this, for voters in New Jersey, New York, Virginia. I know you've been all over the affordability issue today and for the last several months. Eggs, gas, a dinner cost for Thanksgiving way down, but other things, as you noted, have gone up. Beef, coffee,
but they're going to come
auto
down very
repairs.
shortly.
Is this a voter perception issue of the economy, or is there more that needs to be done by Republicans on Capitol Hill, or done in terms of policy?
More than anything else, it's a con job by the Democrats. They're saying, they just have to say, they put out something, say today costs are up. They feed it to the anchors of ABC, CBS, and NBC, and a lot of other, and CNN, and et cetera. And it's like a standard. I'll never forget they had used a word like manufactured. Do you remember the word manufactured? It's a manufactured economy. Nobody uses that word. Every anchor broke the manufactured. They do exactly what they say. It's such a rigged system. So are you ready? Costs are way down. Gasoline is going to be hitting $2 pretty soon, or around $2. Gasoline is at $2.70 now, and it was at $4.50 under Biden, under Sleepy Joe. When gasoline comes down, when energy comes down, and everybody agrees energy's down, we're drilled, drill, baby, drill. We're going like wild. We produce more gasoline, oil and gas in the last month than we ever have before, by far. And we're going to also end up filling up the national strategic reserves, which were taken out by Biden in order to try and win an election. Didn't work out too well. They tapped in. That's supposed to be for war, for national emergency, not to get.
So are you saying that voters are misperceiving how they feel, or?
So when I took over, you remember?
Because you said Biden did that too, because he was saying things were great, but things weren't great.
Let's say it's synonymous, Biden and Kamala, because you didn't
What
know
the
who was campaigning.
Okay. Okay, so I am, you might have seen it in my reaction, I am stunned at what we just heard. That was exceptionally bad. Donald Trump, when he answers a question, even if it's the most basic question you can think of, he finds a way to answer it incredibly poorly. He does his quote-unquote weave, which is just a nice way of saying cognitive decline. That was exceptionally bad. He didn't say anything, right? His entire point there was it's the Democrats' con job. The Democrats apparently give talking points to anchors, and it's a manufacturer economy. It's nonsense. It is total nonsense. Then he started talking about drilling. I mean, this guy is all over the place. And even Laura Ingraham followed up saying, so are you saying that voters are misperceiving how they feel? Donald Trump is basically telling his base to not believe their own eyes, not believe their own wallets, that when they're going to the grocery store, things are up. The price on the cash register has gone up. Just don't believe it. That's what Donald Trump is saying. All of these prices have gone up. And even Laura Ingraham gave him like a softball. This is a question that the president should be able to answer swimmingly. And she said, all these things have come down. They haven't, but she gave him a softball and he completely struck out. Oh, it is so brutal listening to this guy speak. It really, really is. A really, really terrible answer. Voters are misperceived. This is crazy. Let's move on to the next clip I want to show you because I have two more I want to get through. It's just crazy. So on the affordability question as well, Laura Ingraham was asking, okay, so, if the prices are going down, why are people anxious about the economy? And Donald Trump, I think, doubled down on what he was saying. Take a look.
We're down on energy. We're down on interest rate. Interest rates are down despite the Fed. Now, if we had a normal person at the Fed would have really low interest rates, and we will soon have that. We'll have somebody that's
Then why are people saying they're anxious about the economy? Why are they saying that?
I don't know that they are saying. I think polls are fake. We have the greatest economy we've ever had.
All right.
We have We will have over $20 trillion come into our economy, and it's long.
Okay, so we're back to Trump is like a cycle. I mean, he really is. If you look at, any election he's run in, or let's just use the 2 terms he's won, every time it's, I'm going to do this when I get into office. And then the country comes crumbling down, the economy comes crumbling down, and then any concern about these crumbling institutions, he says the polls are fake. It's cyclic with Donald Trump. You can predict what he's going to say. We're back at the stage where he claims that the polls are fake. So people out there are voting in elections overwhelmingly for Democrats, whether it be what we just saw on Tuesday or special elections around the country. And beating Donald Trump, their main concern is the economy, and Donald Trump still says it's fake. You have election results, you have polling, you have consumer sentiment, unemployment, all of these different indicators, and he's like, oh no, I just don't think it's real. He is striking out, I should say, in this interview so badly. This is the thing he promised to work on when he got into office, and it's completely backfired on him. Here's another clip where, aside from the affordability thing, Donald Trump is basically giving a middle finger to his base. The main quote I want to get through here is, MAGA was my idea. It was nobody else's idea. I know better than anybody what MAGA wants. So he just gets to set what the conservative agenda is, and he expects people to fall in line, even when the country is very clearly not in a good spot.
Mess around with us, I can tell you that.
A lot of MAGA folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school, and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure.
So I just want to point out that the point Laura Ingraham the point she just made is a really terrible one about having foreign students come to the United States. There's a lot of great arguments in favor of it, but obviously we don't have time to address that all, although I would. But anyway, we'll continue.
Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans
You would have the
of the United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically, black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities.
So we're dependent on China to keep our university system going?
But I think it's good to have, I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
Well, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French, where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology, where, they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. The students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive, but at the same time, I know you and I disagree. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people. Also, I want to get along with countries if possible. People are shocked. Remember, Hillary Clinton said, we'll be in a war. I stopped 8 wars in the last 9 months. I don't want to be in wars. If I am in a war, we're going to win the thing fast, and it'll be violent. But you know what? I don't want to be in wars. But one thing, you don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else.
Wow.
And MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
Wow, some tension there. Look, Donald Trump in this response has to grapple with the racist monster that he created. And it's not Laura Ingraham by herself. It's kind of like the MAGA ideology, where it's, if you're a foreigner, then you're bad. That's what they believe. And Laura Ingraham is peddling that crap right here. And she's saying, well, if you're a foreign student, you shouldn't come to the United States, which would lead a bunch of, as Trump said, a lot of universities to go out of business. It would also hurt the United States on the world stage. It's good to have people receiving an American education and paying double for their education here. That actually helps the country, but Trump has to grapple with this monster that he created. And now they're screaming at him regarding these visas for students, and he's backed into a corner. Either he sinks a bunch of universities, which maybe he will do to preserve himself politically, or he accepts these students into the United States and he pisses off the base. And this is coming after, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump are beefing. Other Republicans are disavowing Donald Trump because he's electoral poison. I mean, the Republican Party is fractured. And this answer, this kind of back and forth, that tension between Laura Ingraham and Trump, where he sets it saying like, hey, I'm actually the one who created MAGA. I make the agenda, essentially. I get to decide what is MAGA and what's not after she pushed back on him. It represents that tension. But overall, the interview was a total disaster. I mean, he's screaming at his own base, giving the middle finger to his own base. He's lying about the economy. He's rambling incoherently. It's like every other Trump interview, except this one, I feel these answers were really off the mark. So look, I will leave the video there. I just had to get a couple of these out to you tonight. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.